I just want to say that I do plan on going back to the mobile home and looking through everything again 2 years later, just because that video is what blew up this channel. And another thing there is I want to give a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers and new people joining me here on the channel. I hope that you enjoy the future videos of this channel. I sure enjoy making the videos, so if you enjoy watching them, then that seems like a good thing. But yeah, I just wanted to give a warm welcome to all of the new people who will be joining us here. So thank you for your support. Here's what's been keeping me busy, aside from work, because that comes first. And then other responsibilities, because that comes second, and third we have videos. And I've been working on things, and I've been filming things, but editing and uploading has been another thing, and I have, videos backed up, and I just need to buckle down and get some stuff done. But anyways, I thought I'd throw this video out there to show everybody what's been going on here at the workbench. So without further ado, let's start with this guy right here. This is a 1932 Majestic Model 15. Big ol' radio. It's actually a super het. Those are IF cans. Those aren't TRF coils or anything. So that's really cool. This is my oldest super het for sure by many years. Well, probably more like a couple years, but regardless, it's my oldest super het, and it's actually in pretty good shape. It's a little dusty and stuff, but it is all there. No big scuffs and scrapes or anything like that. So this is a cool one for sure. I've already replaced the power cord on it. Going to there, I used a quote-unquote recycled plug thing up there. This came off of a cord that was way too unsafe to plug in, but I saved the head, and it's kind of cool. Can use that for things. Let's move over to this one right here. This is a 1932 as well. It is a General Electric Model BX, and that scale goes from 0 to 100, but that's actually just the AM band, so it's not like it's a LW set or whatever. This is AM, and it works. Like, it powers up and you can listen to it. However, it needs to be recapped. There's a lot of kind of gargle behind it. It looks like parts of it need to be rewired, especially because it's in a metal cabinet. But this is really kind of cool. It's got this weird little box back here, and that says Lafayette on it. I think it was the box for one of the tubes in here, because I think there's a Lafayette tube right there. I think that was the box for this tube, and I don't know why they crammed it in the speaker, but I'm not going to touch it because it probably does serve a real purpose. This one's also in pretty decent shape. I mean, the paint's kind of worn off, but it makes a cool effect on the set. And it's got a nice grill cloth on it. And this guy back here, I don't have a chassis for, but this is the wooden case for this. And the funny thing is that I had this months before I was even aware about this down here, so it's kind of a neat coincidence. There's an identical radio that's branded RCA because G and RCA's ties to one another, and that could have come in the wooden case. So let's flip this over. I can kind of show you what it's like. Just gotta be careful with it. Someone worked on it in like the 50s and the 40s, and the rest of it, I believe, is all original. See that black wad there? Those are the capacitors, and it's just like the inside of a normal paper capacitor, but without the outside layer kind of thing. Kind of cool, just tar and foil and paper wads basically. but they're bad. They need to be changed, unfortunately. Our Own. That was a line of hardware store, or else a brand that a hardware store used. I did not know that when I picked this up. I'm very glad that whoever previously owned it taped that label on, because I would have had a headache, and I did also have a headache, trying to figure out what the heck this was. And the question remains, well, what is it? This is a 1941 Admiral Model P6, I believe. Wait, nope, scratch that. This is an Admiral Model P5, still from 1941. This right here is a 1941 Admiral Model P6. And here's the sticker for this one. CR&TC, that's Admiral, Continental Radio and Television Corporation. You can see how similar they are. And how different they are, really. The P6 is way bigger than the P5. Both are battery-operated farm radios. So you would have this out on your farm before you would have had electricity, and you'd buy batteries for these and run them off the batteries, and big batteries would hide down there. But yeah, it's kind of neat. You got the P5 and the P6. And they both do the same thing. It's just really confusing. They both power up just fine, but all there is just a little tiny bit of hum, even with the antenna connected. So, I don't know. We'll figure these out sometime, I guess. And next, let's look at some computer systems. Start with this little guy right here. This is an HP Pavilion 540N. This is another one of those Goodwill computers, Goodwill auction systems. Something I won at auction for, I think this one was actually cheaper. It was like $7.99 instead of $9.99. And it's got the original HP CD writer, but I don't have anything in the expansion bay. Not yet, at least. Floppy drive. Pentium 4, designed for XP. This is another late 01 system, early 02. Under here, we've got front USB and serial, which is kind of cool. Only thing that it's missing is the plastic piece for this disc holder up here, which is kind of a bummer, but whatever. This system works totally fine. It did not have the original hard drive. I had to put XP onto it, but it works very well for older games and stuff like that. I do wish it had a DVD drive. Maybe one will be put into it. I don't know. It's got the original keyboard down here. Not the original one for this system, but one that I found at the thrift store that I was like, that looks like it was for this thing. So I picked it up, and sure enough, it was. Still looking out for that mouse, but that shouldn't be too hard. Let's take a look at the inside. There we go. We got a little better lighting. Big old fan duct. Our cards here are a GeForce 4 MX420 AGP video card right there. Below that is a 1997 Ensoniq model ES1370, I believe, audio PCI sound card thing. I don't know, just generic Sound Blaster or something clone. And then the dial-up modem, which is original to this computer. The other two I put into it just for fun. We have a SIS chipset, pretty low-end kind of stuff. It's an Asus motherboard, model P4S-LA. And then you can see on that chip right there, we got a date of first week of 2002. So, yeah. Some of the chips are from 01, some of the chips are from like the first couple weeks of 02, so late 01, early 02. That's all good. Got our original power supply. It hasn't had any problems like that one from the first Goodwill computer. It's a Beztek, I believe. I don't know if that's good or bad or whatever. These aren't really my thing. I don't really have too much of an interest in them, but I like to use them. I did recap the motherboard. It needed it really bad, so I went through and I recapped everything that was even slightly bulging, and haven't had any problems since. There's our CD drive right there. There is our floppy drive and the hard drive. The hard drive I used is a 2004 Maxtor. Laugh all you want. Bunch of IDE cables and whatnot, front panel stuff. It's got this right here, which is weird, which is a speaker output. I don't know what that's for because it has audio outputs down there, but is that like a beeper speaker output thing? I don't know. But it connects down into the motherboard down there. This does have onboard sound, but I like using old sound cards, so yeah, that's why there's a sound card in there. Can't even get the whole thing in frame. Let's take a look at this thing. Thermaltake. Zacer, I think. I don't know. X-Acer 2. However you say that. Case. I built this system from the ground up, and hopefully it will be finished within the next few days as of recording. Today is August 31st. It's got a DVD-ROM. This I took out of the old Goodwill computer just because it's in rough shape right now. HP CD writer, another one. 2-in-1 video. Hard drive caddy thing, and then a fan controller. Now, when I got this case, the only thing in here was the fan controller. So that is original to the case. Or not, maybe not original, but it came with the case. And then a floppy drive down there. That's a Sony drive from 1996. CD writers from 99 or 2000. DVD drives from 01. Hard drive, I don't know. That thing, I don't know. But the case is in pretty good shape. It's got this big window right here. Got a Thermaltake sticker. Fan for the side right down there. And a lock. It's got a locked thing on it back when people would take parts out of computers, which is something that they probably still do. But yeah, it's all here. Let's take a look at the inside of the system. Lots of goodies in here. I want to start off by saying I'm using an actual modern power supply in this just because, I mean, one, it's the only one that I have on hand. Doesn't need to be recapped. 80 plus bronze. Yeah, not great. But you know what? It's better than one from like 2000. And bulging capacitor, whatever. And I don't think we're going to get anywhere near 500 volt or 500 watts. So I think this will be fine. But yeah, we got a slot 1 CPU. That is a Pentium 3 650 megahertz with a Cooler Master passive cooler thing on it. We've got a stick of RAM. I have more somewhere, but I'm just going to start with the one. I think it's got 256 megs through that one stick. Something like that. Maybe only 128. Regardless, it's enough to run. So yeah. Right here we have another salvage part out of the first Goodwill computer. That's the video card. It is a 1996 Matrox Millennium, I think, something like that. The Texas Instruments thing. You can watch that video if you like. It kind of goes through everything more thoroughly and whatnot. No AGP card for this one. I'm just using what I have on hand. Aside from a hard drive, which is something that I have to get. But hopefully that'll be here soon, and we can get this together. Down here is a Sound Blaster 16 clone from about 1995. It's another Ensoniq card. It's an ES688. Like I said, I like messing around with old sound cards. I don't mind if it's wildly outdated as long as it still works. And that's an ISA card. That is not a PCI card. That's ISA. That's old school right there. And it's got different things back when CD drives all had their different connectors. So it has one labeled like Mitsumi and Panasonic, Sony, and then just standard IDE. So pretty old school little sound card, much more appropriate for something like This guy right here, this old Gold Star 386 from 1991. And believe it or not, this is technically another HP bubble system, because that's what the motherboard came out of. Although this one's a bit older. It's a 1999, and it's an Asus model, it's an Asus model P2B-VT. So I think this came out of a earlier HP bubble system. I'll mention that this specific motherboard here is extremely bare bones. It has your standard PS2, 2 USB, 1 serial, a parallel, and absolutely nothing else. It could have come with an optional Riva TNT and sound and all this other stuff, but it unfortunately does not. Built-in sound would have been through an Ensoniq ES1373, very similar to the one in that HP. But anyways, this is a system that I've wanted to get working for a really long time. It didn't really want to take any operating system I put onto it, but recently, in a more complete form of itself, it's been wanting to take Windows NT Workstation 4.0. I know, very dated for 1999. However, it's a good sign that things are moving in the right direction with this system. And with a Pentium 3, I feel like maybe 98 is the best operating system to try to put onto this, but I mean, if nothing else, any operating system that works is one that I will be happy with. And here we are back in the tube era of things. This is a 1950 Admiral model. I'll put it up on screen because I forget. Radio, phonograph, combo. This can actually do 45 and 33, but I just use it for 78s because it needs some special belts for all of that, and they're all roached. But this was an absolute basket case. This is a case of just the shipping company just destroying something even when it's packed well. This is from Shop Goodwill. I also got this for $7.99 plus shipping, and it was in pretty good condition. I mean, just look at it. Aside from the obvious bangs and dents, you know, it was in pretty good shape, and it arrived in many pieces. So I had to do kind of an emergency job. The turntable was just flopping around, and that's why you have this right here is from that hitting it up there. I mean, it was a pretty sad case. It happens to everybody. It happens to Shango. It happens to Radio TV Phononut. I mean, so now this is my first instance in having something get destroyed in shipping. But we're in a good spot now. The turntable has been epoxied back. You can see the little crack from where that screw connection thing broke. Same deal on this side. We're in a good spot now. And this up here, that was a hole, but I found the missing piece for it. We're complete once again, and that's what counts. And this works pretty well. I'll power it up for you here. Wait a second. Here's one of those belts. You can see it's just roached. It's just solid. Just a simple recap. That's all it needed.
Month of August, it's an opposite field blast.
A real good story about Drew. A real United.
I'll be impressed if it picks up anything other than those two a day. Oh, it picks up 680 out of Chicago. This is a 6-tube set, by the way, so it should be a good performer, and it seems like it is. Picks up a few stations. Impressive.
Third baseline. What a month, huh?
Sounds good, too.
Not only 10 homers, that was his 17th
There's a tone.
per base hit this month.
Look, I know that there's going to be a...
Let's get a record on there. And of course, in pretty typical fashion of a changer from this era, it's about as loud as a train, but you know what, it works. It's a little better when the top is down. And I should mention that this is my main radio, like the one that I probably use the most, this one right here. It's right next to the computer setup. That's gonna edit this video. I'm probably gonna use it while editing the video. So yeah, it's a good radio. It checks all my boxes. Anyways, I wanted to kind of share what I've been doing recently. I thought you all deserved a video. You were entitled to a video, so I made a video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. We'll take a look at that mobile home soon. Thank you. Let's see the record changer do its thing. And of course, it's just gonna restart, but hey, it works.